And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content Actual Play channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope, our desire is to help amazing game designers find great players who love their games and help great players find amazing designers whose games they can love. As part of that process, we oftentimes work with different publishers or designers to present their games to you. Today, we are working with Exalted Funeral, who is sponsoring this stream, and we are excited to play Ark. I'm going to let you know a little bit more about the game in just 1 second, but if you want to find anything out about us, you can go to plus1exp.com or hit us up on social media at plus1exp. With that said, you didn't come here to just hear me talk. You came here to hear some amazing people play an amazing game. Let's meet some of those players right now. We're actually going to start off with our GM tonight. So, Adam, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online if you want to be found?
Hey, yeah, I'm Adam Bell. You can find me on Twitter at AdamEBell. I make games. I like to play games. I like to talk about games. So go to my Twitter. You can find everything there, including a link to the Tabletop Call-In Show, which you can tune into on Sundays.
Awesome.
At 1 Eastern.
And Adam, a little bit of that distortion is snuck back in. So if you want to play with your gain again, go ahead and do that. If you don't want to, it's not like horrible. And so let's meet Mari next. First time on the stream. Really excited to have you with us. Tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online.
Hi there. So I am Mari. If you want to search me up, I am Bloody Mari on Twitter. That's with 3 I's. Basically, I love TRPGs. I have a TRPG like almost every evening of the week. I definitely do not have an addiction. And I also organize TRPG events in the Philippines. So yeah, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Awesome. And let's meet Adira next. Adira, tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online.
Yeah, hi, I'm Adira Slattery. You can find me on Twitter at Adira Slattery. You can get my games, because I'm a game designer, at adira.itch.io. You can Google Adira Slattery and find whatever the hell you want. It's probably made by me. Maybe you could find some porn of me. Who knows?
Awesome. And then last but not least, we have the designer of the game we are playing tonight, Ark. I said Momatoes. Everybody else says Momato. I can't even do it. Momatoes. Like a tomato, right? Why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us about Ark.
All right, so hi, I'm Momatoes. I'm a Filipino game and graphic designer on Twitter. You can find me at Momatoes, and my website is also momatoes.com, so it's quite easy to find me online. I designed Ark, which will be published by Exalted Funeral, and it's coming to Kickstarter. And I think this is the first time I'll ever say this publicly, but it's launching on Kickstarter June 1st, so it's just a couple of weeks away, couple of days away. I'm very excited. So for those who don't know yet about Ark, it's basically a rules light, tension heavy system where a literal doomsday clock is counting down to the apocalypse. So for this stream, I think we have literally 3 hours to save the world. So it's quite tense, but the play is very streamlined and there is a lot of focus on shared stakes, moving reading stories, and a collaborative world that responds to player action and calamity as well. So thanks everybody for joining the stream, and thank you Tony and Adam for helping run this game.
I am super excited to play. I did let everybody see our Doomsday clock that we're going to be going through. Also, if you're watching on Twitch right now, I dropped the link down in the chat, or there's a short link on the screen the entire time we're playing that'll take you right to the Kickstarter follow page if you want to hit that up. If you're watching this later, it'll be linked in the description as well. With that said, we always use safety tools here on the channel, actually just to make sure that everybody enjoys their experience playing. And so we use lines, veils, and the X card. Lines are things that may happen in the world of our game, but don't happen in the course of our game. They may happen off screen somewhere else, but our game doesn't focus on them or talk about them. We always have a hard line against sexual violence on the channel. Veils are things that might happen in our game, but we address them in a certain way, or we handle them in a very specific capacity, or we kind of just hit them and then move on. And the X card is the ability for any player to just say, hey, we're going to stop, pause. If there's if there's not clarity about what the issue is, identify it. No explanation is required, and move forward. It could be something that's distracting. It could be something that you have a problem with. It could just you got confused and need to figure out what's going on. But it's the ability for any player to stop the game and be able to identify what an issue is and then move around it and put it on our list of things to not address in the future. So with that said, I'm going to hand things over. We've talked about some of those things in advance. If anybody has anything they want to say also now too, we think normalizing the conversation is great, but we gave people the option to put them in advance, not live in front of a studio audience also too. But with that said, I'm going to hand things over to Adam unless somebody has another line or veil that they want to add.
I don't remember if I put mine in.
All right.
I need to look at the thingy.
I did not, so I'm going to go look at the thing also too.
Wow.
Well, I would say you, if you have any, you didn't, because we don't have any extra ones
All right,
in there.
it's pretty black right now.
So, does anybody have a line or veil that they want to add?
Yeah, I want to add a veil for mind control causing self-harm.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Anything else? And remember, we can always add more in play as we're going. I'll let Adam give you any caution warnings, but I don't think based on our plan and what we've talked about so far, there's necessarily anything major. But if the idea of the apocalypse really bothers you, like maybe a different stream. So with that said, I'm going to hand things over to Adam.
Yeah, okay. So playing Ark, the first thing that we did off stream was just talk a little bit about the type of fantasy and that we want to play in. So what we decided was we're looking for something a little surreal, right? And then we're also supposed to think about what types of heroes the players are going to play. And you all chose kind of bards, creative people who affect the world with their cool creativity and art. And the long-term goal is the last thing that gets established, which is keep the world weird. Right? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Sounds
cool.
about right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you jump right into, I do a little bit off screen with that to start thinking about what the doom is and how the world might end and what the world ending even looks like. So I've got that here, which we'll get through in play, and that'll change over time. But the next important thing, of course, is hero creation. So do we want to just introduce our characters, or should I run through like what is on the character sheet first?
That might not be a bad idea, because there's actually the character creation process is great. So if you want to go through it really quickly, we can then introduce our characters afterwards, I think.
Cool. Yeah, so the first thing, characters are made up of a bunch of different things. The first thing is approach scores. Those are creative, careful, and concerted. So that's when confronted with like a challenge, do they confront that challenge creatively, carefully, or concertedly, and how good are they at each one? The next is there's blood and guts modifiers. So blood is your ability to withstand physical harm, and guts is psychosocial harm. And then there's a bunch of skills, which we can get to whenever everybody says what kind of skills there are. But broadly, there are some knowledge skills, social skills, physical skills, and then prowess. And then there's a very cool inventory system. So everybody's got some unique items, which whenever they're used, I imagine we'll hear a lot about them. But that can include funny little trinkets, weapons, spells, techniques. Yeah, and then there are a couple of character building questions. And then the thing that we're going to do after everybody introduces themselves is determine bonds and how these characters are related to each other. So who wants to introduce the character first?
I think we should make Momatoes go first. Then we can all know what we're supposed to do for sure.
Yes, that is a bar.
Yep. All right. So my character is Mosa. She used to be a student under an anthropologist. So while she was moving around the world, documenting the cultures that they were studying, she found out that her skill at portraiture managed to bring like the true inner nature of people. So that's her bardliness about her. So for her, I put it as a blood and guts modifier at +2 and +4. But despite her being a bard, she's kind of an academic at heart. So her creative is 1, but her careful is at 2. As for her skills, she's really good at looking at people. So her insight is at 2. Her academic is also at 2. Sorry, I just misclicked that in the character sheet. So she's good at insight and academic, but her observe, impose, and artistry are all at 1. So as for her character building questions, what makes them different is that she can have good insight on people around her and then paint what their true nature is on paper. 3 persistent rumors. She's a hoarder. She personally met the chief of the Tikbalang tribe, and this is a bit weird, and she tries to deny it, but her brother is supposedly a serial killer of sorts. But her most painful lesson has been following plans in life doesn't mean that it can make her happy. So that's Mosa, the anthropologist slash portrait artist.
Love it. Anyone else want to go next? I'll go next. I have Bassa the Shaper. Bassa it has some similarities. So Bassa is kind of a sculptor and a maker more than anything else. I actually took 0 creative. I took careful and concerted because I viewed Bassa more so as someone who takes their time and makes things very intentionally. And it's not that they are not creative, but that's just not their strong suit. I used the randomizing feature pretty much the entire way through this process. So I ended up with a lot of skills, but I mostly put them in focus, some in artistry, some in tinker, and then a couple other ones just kind of scattered around. I also got Master of the Elements, which I was super excited about as a technique on my rollout, and a couple other things. I also have a mirror that is a totally normal mirror, but also shows a bunch of shadowy figures moving around in it all the time also too. And then I have a set of artisan tools and a booming voice, and I can speed myself up sometimes. What makes them different? They, I think, kind of is a counterpoint to Momatoes' character, helps inanimate objects find their truest form, and so is constantly looking to make things feel right in the world around them by changing the shapes of the objects in their presence to better fit in, not with their surrounding, but what their kind of true essence is. They're usually covered in clay, very messy. 3 persistent rumors. I'll come back to in just a second what I think of them. But there are so many persistent rumors about Bassa. It's hard to pick just 3. And then most painful lesson. I think most painful lesson is that that there are some things in the world that, as much as Bassa wants to, can't be fixed, and lots of times that's other people who they are in a relationship with, like that they kind of constantly wish that they could be more helpful to other people, but are oftentimes unsure how to do that.
Cool.
I can go next if you want, Mari.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. Awesome. So my character is Aish the Last, pronouns she, her. Aish is creative, 2, concerted, 1, careful, 0. She sort of caution to the wind, and whenever she looks at this situation, it's what's the new sort of thing that she can do with this. She's got 4 blood and 2 guts, so she's pretty physically able to take a punch. Skills-wise, she is imposing and focused, and good at observing, tactics, and trading. Trading also covers animal skills, apparently, which is good because one of her things is a chicken. She has a chicken, and that chicken is her friend. And I will name the chicken at some point. She's also got a booming voice, a heavy crown, a crowbar and lantern, and she can like bind and cancel magic. What makes her different is that she, like, her sort of bard thing is she does like recitations of speeches, and also will like cut wood with her voice for like sort of sideshowy sort of things. Three persistent rumors about her are she used to be a king, she can drink a lake whole, and her chicken was once a powerful warrior. And her most painful lesson is that she needs to get everything in writing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's really
I,
relatable
I
for
think
some
the most
reason.
exciting part is that chicken will eventually be named.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I can go next. I mean, I am the only one left. So I have Reed. And what Reed has in terms of stats is that they are creative, they are not careful, so they like to jump into things. But they do like to do a lot of effort and willpower, and that also translate into the things that they do. So they like to just jump in. They are very imposing, but they try very hard to like learn things and be artistic. They have this thing called a memory seed, so that is something to discover later. 50 feet of rope and a rolled up carpet. They have self-esteem, which is the most important part, is that they are very confident in themselves and personal growth. They have thieves tools, disguise kits, and the other one is manacles. So I am definitely not a sneaky person. Definitely not. And I have a pair of glasses that I can use to see in the dark. So that's pretty cool. What makes them different? Despite their name, they actually do not like woodwind instruments. They actually really like rock, may have actual rocks involved. Their three persistent rumors is that they like to do dance battles on Dance Dance Revolution. They may have taught The Rock how to sing, and they get a perfect score on Guitar Hero. The most painful lesson is that rocks are very painful when you get hit with them in the face. So, so that's it from Reed.
All right. So we do have video games, which is exciting to hear about. Very good. So yeah, the last thing to do with the character stuff, I'm trying to find the page, is to determine bonds. So
Yep.
bonds represent two heroes' relationship visualized through big and small boxes. So there are little squares that each have 4 squares within them. And if you have all 4 little squares in one big square filled up, that's considered a major level of bond. And the little squares are minor levels. And so the more you go up, the more you care about that other character. So in order to determine your hero's bonds, and with a lot of character creation, you have 2 options. You can either determine it with a set level of points. So you can choose one hero that you have 6 levels, 6 minor levels of bond with, and a second hero whom you have 3 with. Or you can roll 3d6 and distribute that many levels of bond between all 3 other characters. So does anybody have an idea on which of those 2 they're doing, and then also who they're picking? Tony's rolling dice.
I am definitely rolling dice.
Yeah, why not?
I got a 11 in total, so I
Alright.
will find a way to distribute that between everybody. It's actually almost a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got a 10.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I got a 12.
Ooh, wow.
Somebody won out on the roll.
So we are a very close-knit party.
Yeah, we're very close. Yeah.
And so then whenever you choose between the other characters, you want to explain your selection by saying whether your hero greatly admires the other, becomes reminded of another character from a past life. Do you find the other character intriguing? Do you have experience going through tough times with them? Do you find yourself obligated to protect them? Or do you have some other relationship with them? So you want to say like what that represents?
I think maybe I'm fascinated with Basa because while I take out the inner character and put it into paper, he actually manages to shape the objects into what their inner identity or reality really is. So I think for Basa, maybe I'll have something pretty high, like 6 or 7 bonds with them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was actually thinking about the relationship between our characters also. I was thinking, I think my character gets along with your character well, but is also slightly jealous of them. Like you have an ability to see into people's true nature, and I feel like the one thing I can't help do is help people like become the best version of themselves, and so I think there's a level of jealousy there
Oof.
also, but not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not aggressive jealousy in any way, shape, or form. Just like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Let's go.
I think I'm gonna have 6 for Reed,
Ooh.
just because they seem like the most fun.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, everybody else is like careful.
That's fair. I would actually put 5 with Aish. Did I pronounce that right? Because well, they are a great well, she's a great person, but also bonus points for chicken compared to everybody else who doesn't have pets. Like if you're gonna be friends with somebody, you want to be friends with their pet or their
Yeah,
friend.
of course.
So
Yeah.
extra for that one. That's like the best part. And they also have a crown, so gotta make sure that they, gotta protect our resident monarch here.
Chat is very convinced that the chicken is going to be important later on. And so,
I think they're right. Was a warrior at some point.
Well, it's a rumor.
Yeah. But rumors can be true.
Yeah.
And maybe the chicken is connected to the crown. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's the chicken's crown.
yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna put maybe how many points? 3 points to Reed because she seems like she's carefree and she has cool rocks with her that she can use to hit people with. That's always pretty cool. And my last remaining point with Aish the last because Mosa isn't sure how to deal with the chicken because that chicken seems awfully suspicious, like it was a warrior, but it's kind of weird. Am I the only one being weirded by this? I'm gonna keep my eye on that chicken.
Chicken's cool. I can go next for that one. I put 4 for Basa, because Basa uses clay, and they're covered in clay. So I'm like so intrigued. Like they can shape hard things, and I'm like, ooh, what you gonna make? Like, what's the thing that you're like creating over there? Because that's really cool. Can I throw it? I promise I won't break it.
I have a pile of throwing creations just for you. Like whenever you come by and visit,
gosh.
I'm like, yeah, you can throw those ones.
Okay, you are great. And Mosa would be where I have 2. Because you paint things and paper seems so boring. So I
Wow. The entire publishing industry hates
gotta
Reed.
save the trees.
Yeah.
But I am like, ooh, portraits. So are you gonna make a portrait of yourself soon? Do you have portraits of yourself? I don't know. I'm just like very confused over what you're making, but I am like, sure, I will try to support you despite my lack of knowledge on, colorways and how they interact with each other.
That support is duly appreciated.
I actually, I had 4 points left. I split them just 2 and 2. I think I loved the idea of like Reed as this person who I'm like, yeah, I see Reed all the time because Reed just wants to throw things, but like I also have now the reality of having to make things for Reed to throw so that Reed does not throw my good sculptures. So, and I think I just envisioned that Aish and I don't know each other that well yet, but are familiar with each other. I don't think it's again, no animosity, just not a strong connection yet.
Yeah, I ended up having 6 left, so I split it 3 and 3 with Mosa and Basa. Yeah, I figure Aish mostly is just like impressed with, it's like, oh, both of you do real art. Nice.
Nice.
Not that cutting things in half with your voice isn't real art,
Really?
because if you
Yeah.
can do that,
Yeah,
I'll
it's pretty
respect you
cool.
as an artist.
So you gotta scream at a piece of wood and whittle.
Awesome. Is that everybody's everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. I have reset the Doomsday clock to be about 3 hours from when we were in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And so for the viewer at home, every time that hits a 30-minute mark, we are going to do a thing. You'll see it when we get there. But yeah, I mean, let's hop into play. Where do we think we start? Do you all like live in some city or town, or
I have a pitch if everybody's open to it. It feels like an academic center or an art center, like either a village built around an art center or potentially even a more kind of collegiate setting may make some kind of sense, given
College town.
some of the backgrounds. Yeah, like college town.
College town.
Yeah, art school for sure.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
art majors.
Yeah.
you all students at this art school? Or are
I
you
would
some of
be
the
down for
older-
to be a student. I don't think I should be a responsible adult who shapes people's minds right now.
I can be an irresponsible adult.
I think I might be more of like maybe not a professor, but maybe like a master's student or whatever the equivalent level is in the universe we're playing in. But more like artist in resident, doing work, like actively doing work, and kind of using that as like the college system as an excuse to have a space to do that.
Right, yeah. You're just working
Yeah.
on your stuff.
Yeah, for Mosa, she used to graduate from anthropology, but now she's returning as an undergrad. So she's like noticeably older from everybody else, trying to figure out this art thing that she's finally picking up formally.
Never too old to go back to college.
Mhm.
Do you think there's a degree in wood screaming?
If
I
they
think
don't,
I
they
think if you
should,
scream hard
you know?
enough, you can get it.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be scared of you screaming at them. So, they're like, here you go.
So are you pursuing your degree in wood screaming here? Is
Sure,
that-
yeah.
Okay.
Just imagine the theory, right? Different kinds of woods, different screamings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine that there's like specialty because like creativity is so interesting and like potential for magic here. Like there are specialty programs and like that people, oh wow, you just scream at wood, that's your thing? Hell yeah, we're gonna see what you can do with that, and if that ends up being useful for you, then cool.
Adam, your video just paused also.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got a little bit of an intense face.
That's all right. Well,
there,
dang it.
you're
I
moving
was
again.
just getting ready to screen cap it. Dang.
I was gonna say for me, I'm not. It's looking
Oh,
good.
no,
Hopefully
he's
my
pausing
internet
it.
doesn't look
Alright.
bad. Yeah. So I think what you hear about today is that there is an organization that maybe you've never heard of before, calling themselves like the Collective, and they are in town and they're just talking to artists. And I think at least one of you has heard that they're like looking for artists to like join their thing, which is not a school. So that's something that's going on. It's probably fine.
How cool are they?
I mean, if you want to, if you go try to like find where they are, you do come across some people in like black and white tunics. They've got like, they're kind of set up in a square. I don't know if there's like a town square with like a tent situation. They've got
main
a tent
quad.
up. Yeah. Right in the main quad, they've got a tent with like a table in the front, and then there's like a closed area behind. You don't know what's going on back there. But they've got like the person that's sitting at the desk in the front has, that black and white tunic and like a bright red rose on the lapel with some big thorns. Looking kind of good. I think it's a sharp tunic. I don't have a name for the character, but I can find one.
Clearly not a student because they could afford a sharp-looking tunic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not a student. Definitely not a professor. Like, almost certainly somebody that came in from out of town.
Mhm.
Definitely not suspicious.
No. What would be suspicious in a nice game like this about creativity?
Exactly.
Yeah. This is just going to be a nice slice of life about college students screaming at wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and playing with their chickens.
Are they giving out pamphlets? Are they approaching students?
yeah, is this like
Yeah.
a sign up for audition here or something?
Are there frisbees with roses printed on them?
They're
Lined
Do
kind of
they
across
just
the
do they
floor?
give you a free ice cream if you sign their forms?
Oh, that's so college signups for orgs.
Yeah.
There's definitely ice cream. Yeah, it's like there's like a
Oh,
little. It's part of the table. Like they hand you a cone, and then you just put the cone on the table, and like it pulls ice cream out because
Ooh.
why not?
Cool.
I love it.
But if you want to go and talk to them, that's how you get the ice cream.
I mean,
I do want ice cream.
I'm about to say I want
I
ice
do
cream.
want
so
ice
yeah.
cream.
it's a really good sell.
I know. Who doesn't like ice cream?
Are we approaching them all at once, hoping that like we can all get ice cream, but only one of us maybe has to actually talk to them?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the move.
Cool.
Well, hello. Are you here to chat with the collective? We can, of course, get you hooked up with some ice cream while you hang out and hear about it, or if you're just passing through, don't let me hold you up.
Do we just have to talk to you for ice cream, or do we get ice cream otherwise?
I mean, if you want the ice cream, we could get that. We could get you having the ice cream.
Yeah,
Yes,
so here-
please.
Okay, sure.
He starts handing out like some cones.
Yes.
Are any of you artists? I assume you are if you're here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What flavors are you getting?
The
Like,
journey
just
to
give-
artistry is long and hard. Who of us can really say that they are an artist?
Me.
Who of us, except for Ash the last, can say they're the artist? It is true. Ash is quite a fantastic artist. Oh,
I mean,
but are you looking for artists? I mean, you came to the right place. This is an art college.
we are looking for artists. Yes. So if you're interested in doing something, different, I don't know if you'd be able to continue your studies in parallel, but we do offer opportunities to artists that are very, I mean, they're appealing. You can have a good life with us.
Can my chicken have some ice cream?
Yeah, quick question. What flavor ice cream does the table give everybody? Because it is
Ooh.
kind of whatever comes out is what you want.
Ooh.
Ooh.
My
Mine
chicken,
is
love cookies
matcha.
and cream.
my chicken gets
Cookies and
strawberry
cream.
ice cream.
Chicken gets strawberry.
Yeah.
Okay, very important.
Aish gets like a spicy chocolate.
Ooh.
Spicy chocolate.
Ooh.
Is Bassa getting any ice cream?
Yeah, but it's actually it's vegan custard that comes out for
Okay.
Vasa, and so it's got a chocolatey coconut flavor to it. It's pretty great.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So the collective is we're an organization of artists that seeks to bring together the creative powers of many artists and turn them into something larger. We are, I mean, you might be able to tell by the name, we're an art collective.
Do you have unlimited ice cream?
I mean, the ice cream we know how students work.
This is
The
an
ice cream
important
gets you in the
question.
door. It's not. It takes kind of a lot to make the ice cream table functional. So it's not constant. But perhaps you could learn. Perhaps this could be your art. I don't know.
So, did you specialize in ice cream art? Are you an ice creamist?
No, I'm a painter.
What's the table made out of? I'm gonna knock on it a little.
It's a metal table.
Okay.
Is it just a freezer on the inside? Like, if you open it, is it just like it's a freezer?
There's no door on the outside.
Well, I am curious. Like a freelancing opportunity with compensation and benefits and dental.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
Everybody's
important.
teeth. I mean,
Everybody's teeth.
He smiles a huge smile, and they're wonderful. Teeth.
Wow.
Just
They
incredible
cover
fucking teeth.
dental.
I mean, this person's eating ice cream a lot and has a smile that good. That's pretty impressive
That's-
dental.
Pretty,
They
dental
pretty
don't
good
have
connections.
cavities.
Like the idea that you'd be able to see cavity, big cavity filled mouth.
I work with teeth in my art sometimes. I'm not a dentist, but you know,
Yeah,
I
I've
do
tried
I've
a lot of
accidentally
handle a lot of
broken
teeth.
people's teeth.
All of us have been around the teeth block.
You know, you had to minor in teeth to become a sculptor at this school.
A student that you might know comes out of the tent behind him, kind of gives you a little wave and starts walking away.
Did you want some ice cream?
I already had some. It's good. I'm signing on with the collective. I think I'm gonna leave school for a bit.
What kind of ice cream did you get?
What?
What kind of ice cream did you get?
Oh, cookies and cream. Isn't that what they had?
Hey,
Yeah,
we're matchy.
We all got different kinds.
Oh,
Yeah, they got different kinds.
Well, it did really hit the spot, so I guess that makes sense. It was the perfect ice cream.
So what are you gonna do for the collective now?
Well, I mean, as you know, I'm a musician. I don't know if is this a small school? Do you all know each other?
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody knows Tim.
Yeah, everybody knows Tim.
Tim the musician.
As you know, I'm
Yep.
a bit of a guitarist, and you know, I'm able to break down rock itself with my guitar. So I'm gonna be helping, move stone around. It's gonna be cool. It'll be nice to get out in the real world.
I would say
Are
not
you
everybody.
like a rival?
I would say not everybody knows everybody, but everybody knows Tim because he's the guy at every party who's like, "Let me show you my guitar that breaks, like my guitar music that breaks down rocks."
I feel so offended by this. I'm like, how dare you ruin my rocks that I use with my rock music?
What? I don't ruin them. I just make them smaller, make them more,
You turn them into
manageable.
sand.
No. I mean, I could, but I'm not a sand person. I go boulder to rock mainly.
Hmm. Then he goes to parties and just plays Wonderwall.
Yeah, brings like a slab of limestone and just plays Wonderwall at it.
This is like he could lift these books.
Huh. Well, the dental sounds appealing, I'm gonna be honest. And if they have a lot more ice cream, very good.
Awesome.
Sounds unsure.
Sounds
They're
like we're all
unsure
signing
about
up then.
unlimited ice cream. Well, what's in the tent? Do we go inside the tent now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one at a time in the tent, says the guy at the ice cream guy. So if you are interested, I mean, we could take you in. They'll give you the full spiel in there. I mean, if you are you like a band? Are you like a unit? Because we could make something work together if you all want to sign on together. But otherwise, it's like one at a time.
I mean, it seems like you have to give the spiel 4 times then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given the spiel, yeah. I mean,
Well, at least we're a unit. And Ace points at the chicken.
Yeah, we're actually the chicken support group. The chicken
Yes.
is the front man of this group.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, you might have heard of us. We're called Booker.
There is a little.
We're a
audition.
legend around here.
So I'd love to hear this chicken front man. So if you all want to come in, that's great. You seem like a talented bunch.
Sure.
All right.
We got in, guys.
Let's get the chicken signed.
Yeah.
The chicken's gonna get good dental.
And we can pocket the chicken's money.
So yeah, you go in the tent. It feels like it's a little bigger than you would expect in here. There's like a round, like a big oval table with a person sitting at it, similar robes, similar I don't know why I'm pointing at my chest, which is not on camera, but the tunic and the rose are here. There's a little stage, and the person looks up and she says, "Oh, hi, yeah, there's 4 of you. Are you like a
We're a thing.
There's
what's
actually
the thing?
5 of us.
Yeah, there are 5.
There's
Yeah.
5?
How
I
dare
I
you?
point out at the chicken.
Oh, the little poultry. Yes. Interesting. Yes. So what is it that you do? Like, what is your benefit?
That's for us to know and you to find out.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to find out. Yes, that's the idea.
Are you
We
not?
wanna hear
Have you never heard of Bakak?
I mean, if you want to, if you want to make a roll for somebody to have heard of Bakak, or like for that to be
You're not
convincing enough.
pronouncing it quite right.
You gotta add some intonation to that.
That was a great one. A roll
Sorry,
to see
was
if
it-
anybody's heard of Bakak.
Or
Let's
if you're
see.
like, or do you think is it a thing? Or
No.
If you want me
is it
to
a lie?
impose, I could be like, Bakak is like the best group here, you know?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
legends. We're like
Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
school
So
group.
yeah, I think maybe it's like Bakak does exist, but it's like the dumb thing that we say conveniently whenever we need to do something. And maybe we've performed as Bakak like twice.
Once as a joke.
Yeah. Like as local jokes, like
Yeah.
events. So like there's tons of Bakak merch, but there's not.
There's more.
There's 100% merch.
No one buys
Oh yeah,
it, though.
definitely.
Yeah.
Like we have
Nipples.
t-shirts, we have hats, we have those button pins that everybody, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
somehow has in college.
And if you're watching right now and you want to make Bagak merch, like I'll
Excuse
give
me.
you $20 if you want to design a Bagak logo. You know, I'll throw it out on stream. Any first Bagak art submission we get $20.
I'd like to imagine that one of the reasons why we're signing on is to get more money to produce more merch. Because that merch isn't cheap.
Yeah,
We need to
no.
pay for the storage room we put it in.
Yeah.
Plus, we have to pay the chicken royalties to use its license.
Chicken. Okay, so what's your character's name again? Reed is. They're trying to make
Yes.
an impose check here.
Yeah, to be like,
how-
we are credible Bakak people.
Okay, and how are you approaching this?
Definitely with like, probably with concerted. I'm not trying to be careful here, and I don't really think this is,
yeah,
you know,
kind of like
surprising.
blustering right in and being like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're
we're
lying about this?
amazing.
Sure, let's fucking
Yes.
go for it." Great. So the way the skill checks work, let's make sure we walk through it for both our sake and the audience, is we're combining a skill and an approach. So in this case, the skill is impose and the approach is concerted. And the combination of those two, you have 2 in each of those. So that's a 4 total threshold number. And then unless we add a difficulty modifier, did anybody bring any of the merch?
Oh.
The chicken's wearing a hat.
The chicken wears a black hat?
Yeah.
Because then it feels like to me that makes it a +1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
helping.
you're
I'm helping with my
equipped for it.
bond with Reed.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. So how much of that do you have?
So,
I have 6, so I think that's +1.
oh,
Okay,
wow.
yeah, because you have 1 major.
hmm
So the skill check, and it just increases by 1, right? Momatoes, like it
Yes.
just increases. Okay, cool. So the threshold number is 6 right now because it's 2 from concerted, 2 from impose, 1 because the chicken's wearing a hat, and that
Wow.
makes it like easier. It's more. It's like, oh, they were just strolling through and they've got the thing. And then so how are you helping, Aish?
I'm helping with the chicken hat.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
like presenting it like.
Yeah, I
while
pick up the chicken and
explanation
I'm
is
like,
going on.
Totally legit.
Great.
I Vanna White the chicken.
And I'm definitely pointing at the shirt I'm wearing, but you can't tell because it's covered in clay, just like everything else. And so it doesn't register at all.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll 1d6. You always roll 1d6 and try to get under that threshold number. Which, when the
Okay.
threshold number is 6, you mostly should be able to do it.
Yes.
Let's see.
That's going to be a 2.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So that is under,
Nice.
which means that you succeed.
We did
right?
it.
So
Yay.
you,
Totally
can you-
legit. Yay.
yeah, walk me through this pitch that works as like explaining what you are.
Look, we had this like whole there was like the school I don't know, annual showcase thing, and we were like the top performers with our frontman for Bakak. Right? So we were like the it group, and like if you ask anybody about who we are, they're going to tell you, and we're going to be recognized. We are like the local band around here, like totally the best. We are amazing. Everybody loves the chicken, so we are that group.
Awesome. And then what happens when you perform? What is the benefit?
We are the benefit.
Well, sure, but what do you?
Good
You know.
feelings in music.
Good feelings. It just brings the spirits up of the people. Like,
It brings the spirits somewhere.
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, after
You think
that
you could-
last concert.
Yeah, I mean when you scream,
Yeah.
Do you think you could put on a little show for us so we could see if you're a good fit? I want to feel those spirits rising.
Sure.
You know,
I mean,
God,
do we have like the equipment, the stage?
Sure.
Do I have
whatever you
like a
need, it'll be-
canvas? Oh, okay.
What is it that you need? We can.
To make my
arrange for
performance,
it.
I need paper.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, then I shall draw you while they do the actual performance. I'm just really the
Oh, it's a
graphics
mixed
person.
media.
Yes, mixed media experience.
yeah.
Okay, so is that all we need? Is paper? You've got the chicken.
Well, we need the chicken's microphone. It's a
Yes.
it's a special microphone that I built for it.
Okay.
I guess I could go get that real quick. We will need a sound system for it though.
If you want to go get the chicken's microphone, yeah, usually we can get pretty much anything that you might need, but
It's a
we don't have the
custom
chicken's
rig. Like I
microphone.
understand
Yeah.
that you probably don't.
I,
want
I
one.
don't think you're ready to handle the amazingness of the chicken yet.
Yeah.
I-
Not
we
everybody
need-
has a chicken microphone
We're
just sort of kicking around.
We're ready to hear it. I'm looking forward to this chicken microphone. Even if the rest of it is ridiculous, I want to see the mic. Interesting
I'll run
craftsmanship.
back to my dorm room and get the actual chicken microphone that I have built at some point in time because that actually decently matches my background, and come back with the chicken microphone.
Okay, and this is a real thing.
Yeah,
Just making sure.
yeah, like I said, I think we've done this a couple times. It is not like it is kind of an ongoing joke. It's like, oh yeah, Tom Hanks was in a kazoo band. This is that level of like, it's a thing we do. Not very often, very performances. And I do think it's mostly like we put a microphone on the chicken. Reed plays Guitar Hero. And the rest of us do whatever we do around that.
I'm backup vocals.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Okay, so you need a Guitar Hero. I think we have that. What does Guitar
Yeah.
Hero look like in this world, Mari?
Ooh.
Tell me what
Ooh.
they put on the stage. Like,
An actual adventurer.
Oh my gosh, that's actually really freaky. Like, hey dude, let me just like strum you a little bit. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh no, it's a guitar with a cape on it, and the guitar has maybe the capabilities of Superman for some reason.
The guitar
Okay.
can shoot lasers.
are these common, or is this another thing you have to run back to your dorm room for?
I have to run back for that guitar. It's
If you play F sharp minor, it shoots out the laser.
But otherwise, it's just like, that person who just really wants to help it's just that guitar that just wants to help everybody. So people don't know this, but it's been helping me perform.
Right, yeah, it's like
Oh. And I charge it by putting out in the sun just to make sure it soaks up the UV rays. So I'm like, oh,
Solar
boss is
powered.
going back for the mic. I'm gonna go get the guitar. Hopefully nobody's broken into my dorm room and stolen it. Like, run.
Great. All right. So I think all that happens. You get back and like
Yeah.
you're gonna put on this show. I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I do want somebody, at least one, artistry. I think it would make sense unless there's another skill that somebody charisma could make sense.
Can I do trade because it's animal handling?
Do you want us each to define what we are doing specifically as part of the performance and make a roll?
Yeah. What do you mean? Like each person
Yeah.
make a roll? Yeah, I'm into that.
I mean, just to see if somebody's off key.
We can interpret it from there. Yeah, I'm super into it.
Okay.
Although I do need to interrupt for 1 second because a half an hour has passed. There's 2.5 hours
Ooh.
remaining on our Doomsday clock, which means we, for the viewer at home, every half hour in a 1-session game, you mark off something. You mark off one of the ticks on this big Doomsday clock, and if that reaches the end, then it's over. But the other thing you do is there are 3 omens in the world, 3 things that are kind of related to the Ultimate Doom. And for each one of those that is undefeated, I will roll a d6. And for each d6 that comes back 5 or 6, I will take off another moment from the Doomsday clock.
Well, surely that ice cream was one of the omens, and we have defeated it. So.
Defeated the table.
There are 3. Where's my camera? I'm rolling 3 dice. I've got 1 5. I got a 2 4 and a 5. So
Okay.
that's 1 extra tick on the Doomsday clock. So yeah, as we were.
So I guess I'll make a creative trade roll. To like boost up the chicken, and this isn't like a normal stage, so I have to improvise a little bit. I have the chicken like sit on my head, and I like I have the crown there like stabilizing it, so that way the chicken's basically sort of like a singing hat.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's trade and
creative.
Okay, so that'll bring you to
a 3.
So yeah, if you want to, do you want to say them all at once and then everybody roll and tell me what you got, or do you want to roll one?
Sure, that sounds fun.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to help with